So pteridophytes will start up with. Pteridophytes, peak is silent. Okay. Now, what are pteridophytes? They are also a one of the classification of the plant species. Okay. Their main types are horsetails and ferns, horsetails and ferns. Okay. Then where they are found, which region they are found? They are also found in shady region. Okay. Then where there is moisture present. Okay, it is not written there. Then they are used for various purposes, like for medicinal purposes, for binding the soil. Binding the soil means they are binding the content of the soil in such a way that fertility of the soil increases and there is no infertility and the plants can grow easily. Okay, so that is called soil binding capacity, soil binding property. So this is one of the property and use also, and it is also used for medicinal purposes. Okay. Now see, one more interesting fact about the pteridophytes is that it was the first plant to have a differentiated, well-differentiated structure and well-differentiated parts known as xylem and phloem. You know what is xylem and phloem?
Yes, ma'am. Xylem is a tissue in the plants that transports water, and phloem is a tissue that transports food in the plants.
Xylem transports, it's a tissue which transports water to all parts of the body of the plants, and phloem transports food. So what is the way of, like, which is the way, upward or downward for xylem for conducting water?
Xylem, it's upwards and downwards both.
Yes.
And phloem, it's only upwards.
Phloem conducts food from downward to upward direction. Are you sure?
Yes.
Think one more time. Ask them. Yashvi, think one more time. You said xylem conducts water in both the direction and phloem only in one direction. Actually, you spoke opposite. Phloem conducts food in both the directions, xylem in only one direction, that is a downward to upward. Okay. You can imagine
Yes,
how, otherwise I'll explain.
no, ma'am, I imagine.
Okay. Now see, so this where the species first evolved. You know what is evolution and evolved, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this were the first species to evolve with the structure xylem and phloem. Hello, Asta, you're late.
Sorry, ma'am. Actually, it wasn't connecting very slowly. That's why I'm
Okay,
late.
fine. We have just started with pteridophytes. See, pteridophytes are having two types. Horsetails and ferns are of its types. They are used for various purposes like medicinal purposes, that is, they are used in medicines. Okay, then they are used as a soil binders, means that is a property of a soil, sorry, of this plant species to bind the soil. Why they are binding the soil's constituents? So that fertility of the soil increases and there are more plants grown there. So that is known as increasing the fertility of the soil by the feature known as soil binding capacity. Okay. Now these were the first species, plant species to evolve with the structures known as xylem and phloem. Okay. You know what is xylem and phloem, Asta? Asta, you know what is xylem and phloem? Asta, please reply fast. Asta, reply in voice box. No, I don't have that. habit of seeing
मैम
chat box
फ्लोएम
after,
याद नहीं है.
because after 2 minutes, when you don't reply, I see in chat box. I don't have that habit of seeing it. Okay, Yashvi, explain to her what is xylem and phloem fast.
Xylem is a tissue in the plants which transports water, and phloem transports food in the plants. Xylem transports water only in one direction, that is upwards, and phloem transports food from upwards and downward direction.
Astha, understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Now you explain.
Ma'am, xylem is the tissue that transport food.
Xylem,
And
xylem transports food.
sorry, water. And phloem transports food.
In which direction?
In one direction.
One direction only, are you sure?
हाँ मैम इतना ही हुआ आता है.
Both the directions. Xylem transports water from downward to upward in one direction only. And one more thing, before explaining the functions, you should also explain what is it about. आस्था सिर्फ मगअप मत करिए आप, समझिए क्या है.
Okay, ma'am.
So see, xylem and phloem are the tissues of the plants. Okay, first you should explain the introduction, then you say the functions. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
So see, pteridophytes, first of all, we have said that there are two types. Then it's where it is found, what are its uses, then where they are found in again shady and moist places. Okay. The bryophytes, see, here it is written that bryophytes, the dominant phase in the life cycle is gametophytic plant body. अब ये तो clear है ना, what is sporophytes, what is gametophytes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Astha?
हाँ मैम.
Okay. कोई भी stage start होता है plants में, तो it starts first with the sporophytes, then with gametophytes. I don't know whether I've shown that diagram. I don't remember. ऊपर स्पोरोफाइटिक का लेबलिंग होता है, नीचे गैमेटोफाइटिक का. Have I shown that diagram?
Ma'am, one of capsule. Hey. Ma'am, it's there in the textbook on page number 34. Figure 3.2C.
Let me open textbook. Usually I kept all the diagrams of textbook. That's I'm confirming whether I've shown or not. Because why am I asking that? Because we are moving further, that should be clear. Page number which you said?
34.
Yes, this diagram only. So see, upwards it is written sporophyte and downwards it is written gametophyte. Okay. So sporophyte कैसे develop होता है? पहले sporophyte कैसे develop होता है, फिर gametes. Spores develops, from that gametes comes out, and gametes have the sex, female sex organ and male sex organ, right?
Yes, ma'am.
अभी एक और diagram है, that also I'll show you. That will come in video. Okay, before that, bryophytes, the dominant phase is sporophyte. Yeah, dominant phase means what? Dominant matlab ki main powerful stage. Okay, main important stage kaun sa hai yahan pe? It is gametophytic stage. Okay, this sentence you have to remember. So pteridophytes में main plant body कौन सी होगी? It is sporophyte. Okay, which is differentiated into two: roots, stems, and leaves. Spotlight. Okay. Now see these structures which I said, that two: roots, leaves, and shoot. Where in shoot comes leaves also, and the stem also. It is differentiated into the vascular tissues. Okay, जो हमने discuss किया. यहाँ पे है ना दो type का leaves होगा. One is microphylla and another one is macrophylla. Pteridophyta में two types of leaves are present, micro and macro. What is micro? Which is smaller, micro or macro? Small कौन सा है यशवी and Asta? Micro is smaller. So two types of leaves are present: microphylla, smaller leaves are known as microphylla, sorry, and the larger, longer leaves are known as macrophylla. Okay. Example भी दिया है कि microphylla किसमें पाए जाते हैं? With this small leaves are found in which kind of plants? That is Selaginella. What is its name? Selaginella. Here the thing is in bio, you have to remember these names. That is only the thing. Other things are explanation. तो आप याद समझ के लिए याद रखोगे, but this you have to just mug up. This name Selaginella and macrophylla किस में आएगा? बड़े leaves किस में आएंगे? Ferns में. Okay. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
अभी देखिए, ये एक डायग्राम दिख रहा है आपको? Can you see the diagram where it is written strobilus or cones?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
What is it? See, it is a part of the plant from where like stem is there, no? From stem, a leaf-like structure protrudes out, it comes out, and this leaf-like structure is known as strobilus or cones. Strobilus भी कह सकते हैं, उसे cones भी कह सकते हैं. Like in some plants it is called as strobilus, some plants it is called as cones. Diagram इसलिए रखा है so that you can come to know what is it. क्योंकि description में देखेंगे तो कुछ पता नहीं चलेगा. Okay. See, sporophytes आगे आएगा ये, this thing will come, but मुझे मन हुआ तो मैंने पहले दिखा दिया. ओके, स्पोरोफाइट्स, इसमें अभी हम प्रोडक्शन में आगे जाएंगे. व्हाट इज स्पोरोफाइट्स? हियर बेरिंग, इट इज बेरिंग स्पोरेंजिया. सी, स्पोरोफाइट, स्पोरेंजियम, स्पोर्स, ये सभी वर्ड्स का डिफरेंशिएशन पता होना चाहिए. व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन दिस थिंग्स? स्पोरोफाइट इज अ स्टेज, रिप्रोडक्टिव स्टेज. Sporangium is a sac-like structure, आपको याद हो तो, जिसमें spores present है. ठीक है, सभी S से start होता है, तो you should not get confused. Okay, sporophyte is a gametophytic, is a reproductive stage. Gametophytic is that also the reproductive stage. इस stage में क्या bear होता है? Sporangium, which is a sac-like structure, okay, bowl-like structure, जिसमें क्या present है अंदर? Spores. Okay, all three S are clear.
Yes, ma'am.
And what are sporophylls? देखो यहाँ पे नीचे लिखा है. What is sporophylls? That also we have discussed. Sporophyll जैसा last में fill आए ना word, that is always related to leaf. ऐसा याद रखो तो आप भूल नहीं जाओगे. Okay.
मैम एक बार स्पोरोफिल समझा दो ना, क्योंकि इसमें नहीं दिख रहा.
Sporophylls.
Yes.
Actually, I'm not shown the diagram. Huh? So what is not shown to you?
You have actually started a page in which text is given. There is no diagram. And you said that at the end line there's the definition of sporophyll. I'm not able to see it because it's blur, extremely blur. I'm
Any
not able to
leaf like
understand.
structure, कोई भी leaf like structure होता है ना, that is known as sporophylls. इसमें दिखा हुआ, I should, I'm just searching for diagram if I get. But you just suppose see this diagram is there. Can you see this diagram?
Yes, ma'am.
तो इसमें जो leaf like structure है ना, that is known as sporophylls. It has always been like this only. फिल लास्ट में वर्ड आए ना, लास्ट में ये हाफ वर्ड्स आए ना, फिल कहीं पे भी, माइक्रोफिल, स्पोरोफिल, इट इज ऑलवेज रिलेटेड टू लीफ. तो ये लीफ होगा जिसमें स्पोरेंजियम भी होंगे और स्पोर्स भी होंगे. ओके,
Yes, ma'am.
so spores, sporangium, sporophylls, all these things are clear, no? Sporophytes. So 4 things we have learned with S name, with S letter.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So see, यहाँ पे third sentence लिखा है about stromboli, which I have explained to you. In some cases, sporophylls may form distinct compact structures called stromboli or cones. Stromboli or cones, yes, distinct compact structure. ये diagram में आपको समझ में आ गए. What is that compact structures? Distinct मतलब कि अलग सा एक structure है. That is called as distinct. Okay. Fine. Now, sporangia produces spores by meiosis and spore mother cells. Spore mother cells means why mother cells name is given, why daughter name is not given? Because it is producing the spores. It is producing, and these spores are giving rise to the new species. जो new species बनेगा उसे daughter बोलेंगे. The species which are giving birth to, they are known as mother. स्पीशीज हो या सेल्स हो, जो भी हो. ओके, इसलिए यहाँ पे नेम दिया है मदर सेल्स. सो स्पोरेंजिया प्रोड्यूसेस स्पोर्स बाय विच सेल डिवीजन, बाय meiosis. इन विच टाइप ऑफ सेल्स? मदर सेल्स. देखिए अब तक हमने पढ़ा था कि स्पोरेंजिया प्रोड्यूसिंग स्पोर्स वो कॉमन था. हियर दे आर एडिंग द एक्स्ट्रा टर्म्स लाइक मदर सेल्स और ऑल. सो यहाँ पे टेरिडोफाइट्स में ऐड कर देना है. नथिंग न्यू थिंग्स इन दैट. ओके. Spores germinate to give rise to inconspicuous, small but multicellular free-living, mostly photosynthetic thalloid gametophytes. अब ये प्रोथैलस क्या है? See, spores जब germinate होता है ना, that time it gives inconspicuous. Inconspicuous का meaning क्या लिखा है मैंने? It is not easily visible. किसी भी प्लांट स्ट्रक्चर में आपको अगर ये स्ट्रक्चर इजीली नहीं दिखेगा तो दैट इज प्रोथैलस. व्हाट इज इट? प्रोथैलस. इट इज इनकॉन्स्पिशियस, इट इज मल्टीसेलुलर, मतलब कि मेनी सेल्स आर प्रेजेंट इन दैट. ओके, और उसे कहेंगे फोटोसिंथेटिक थैलॉइड गैमेटोफाइट्स. सच अ बिग नेम, नो स्टूडेंट्स?
Yes.
What is thalloid and thallus? Who will say the answer? Yashvi once told me the answer. What is thallus? आस्था, आपको याद है? Thallus is a well differentiated structure consisting of true roots, true leaves, and true stems. Okay. अभी आस्था आप याद रखेगी, क्योंकि I will ask any time. You should know. थैलॉइड और थैलस बोले ना तो ये आपको बताना है. ठीक है अस्ता? At least tell yes. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So जब स्पोर्स जर्मिनेट होते हैं to form this prothallus, तब ये prothallus को एक चीज, I mean they require one environment. Okay. Now when they are formed prothallus, no, when prothallus are formed, they are known as now gametophytic stage. They come to the gametophytic stage. They now require cool and shady region. Okay, as it is written, see downward, cool, damp and shady region to grow. उन्हें grow होने के लिए ये usually till now, see all the plants which have come, they require this region, this environment. Okay, where there is shadiness, coolness, okay, and it is damp. Damp means the soil is moist, okay. This much is clear. Why Yashvi is disappearing
Yes,
again?
ma'am.
Network problem?
No, I'm right there, ma'am.
Means you are there, but your screen is disappearing. You are always there, I know. Okay, fine. See, last sentence, what is written? That because it requires this shadiness and like they require the specific three things, no? Shadiness, coolness, and damp soil. They are available to limited areas only. Okay? The steridophytes. चलो अभी स्पोरोफाइटिक फेज में से हम आ गए गैमेटोफाइटिक फेज में. ओके, स्पोरोफाइटिक फेज में क्या डेवलप हुआ? प्रोथैलस. ओके, नाउ दिस प्रोथैलस इज डेवलपिंग इनटू द गैमेटोफाइटिक फेज. तो उसमें क्या आएगा? गैमेटोफाइटिक स्टेज एज द नेम ओनली सजेस्ट. ये तो आप अभी सभी टॉपिक में इजीली लिख पाओगे बिकॉज gametophytic stage, what comes in that? Gametes are of two types. तो एक ही चीज लिखनी है. थोड़ी थोड़ी स्पेसिफिक टर्म्स अलग अलग होते हैं सब टॉपिक में, बाकी तो एक ही चीज लिखनी है. तो अभी यहाँ पे क्या लिखेंगे? गैमेटोफाइट्स bear what? यशवी एंड आस्था, गैमेटोफाइट्स bear what?
Gametes, मतलब दो sex cells.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Sex.
Gametes मतलब वो
Sex
है,
organs.
female और male.
आस्था, आपकी आवाज इट इज नॉट क्लियर.
मैम वो सेक्स के जो गेमेट्स होते हैं उसे गेमेटोफाइट बोलते हैं.
Yes. Gametes. Gametes, but like what is holding gametes?
Male reproductive cell or female reproductive cell.
Male reproductive organs.
Organ, sorry.
And which are they? Male and female organs, sex organs in plants? यशवी, आप बताओ.
Huh?
Which are male sex organs and female sex organs named as?
The male sex organs are named as antheridial, and the female sex organs are named as archegonial.
Okay. यह आस्था अभी याद रह जाएगा.
हाँ मैम.
बीच बीच में मैं इसीलिए आप सबको पूछ रही हूँ दोनों को, so that I don't want कि ये अभी इतने familiar words आप भूल जाओ. ये नहीं आएगा तो आप डिस्क्रिप्शन तो I don't know how you will write. और आप दोनों को पता है I will take test at any time. जो भी हम पढ़ते हैं every day, you should be prepared with the surprise test. हाँ, मैं कभी भी ले सकती हूँ. Especially आप offline में आएंगे यशवी, which you like so much. That time I will take test at any time.
Ma'am, please don't make me hate offline class.
Why you should hate? टेस्ट तो अच्छे के लिए होती है ना, आपका रिवीजन हो जाएगा. टेस्ट लूंगी तो ही आप कंपल्सरीली पढ़ेंगे, अदरवाइज आई डोंट थिंक सो आप पढ़ेंगे. Asta, you like offline class or not?
Yes ma'am, I like.
Okay, fine. चलो, so gametophytes bear male and female sex organs, where male organ is known as antheridia and female sex organ is known as archegonia. Okay, antheridia के अंदर क्या होगा? Male gametes. archegonia के अंदर क्या होगा? Female gametes. ठीक है. So here, if you remember, I told about the bryophytes that it requires water for reproduction. Here is also the same thing. Water is required for transfer of anthrozoids. Anthrozoids क्या है? They are male gametes which are present in antheridium. Okay. तो ये ट्रांसफर होने के लिए they require water. Okay. इसका कहाँ पे ट्रांसफर होंगे ये? एंथ्रीडिया में से कहाँ पे जाएंगे? फास्ट फास्ट, ये तो बहुत इजी थिंग है, जिसका नाम बताया था आप दोनों ने, वो कहाँ पे जाएंगे फास्ट?
Archegonia, the female part.
Yes, very good.
female part
Then what will happen there? There will happen a fusion of male gametes and female gametes. What will be form? Zygote. Okay. Zygote में से क्या बनेगा फिर? Zygote डेवलप होके क्या बनेगा?
Embryo, मतलब पहले shoot and roots.
Shoot and roots.
flower bird ma'am, bird.
क्या बोले आप यशवी? Last what you said, I did not get.
Shoot सबसे पहले तो stem होगा, फिर leaves होंगे.
That okay, that new plant species is produced, that is fine. आपने उसमें elaborate किया, that is also okay. Okay, so zygote बनेगा new species. Okay. फिर मेजोरिटी ऑफ टेरोडोफाइट्स में देखिए, अभी हमें दो चीज पढ़नी है, व्हाट इज होमोस्पोरस एंड व्हाट इज हेटेरोस्पोरस. अभी स्पोर्स में भी दो टाइप है. स्पोर्स के बारे में बता रही हूँ. व्हाट इज स्पोर्स? स्पोर्स वी नो व्हाट इज इट. ओके, बट व्हाट आर इट्स टू टाइप्स. स्पोर्स अभी है ना, अगर सेम काइंड ऑफ होते हैं तो दैट इज नोन एज होमोस्पोरस. व्हेन दे आर ऑफ डिफरेंट टाइप्स, उसकी मॉर्फोलॉजी में अलग कुछ हो या उसके साइजेस में डिफरेंस हो, तो दैट इज नोन एज डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ स्पोर्स. तो उससे क्या कहेंगे? दैट इज कॉल्ड एज हेटेरोस्पोरस. देख लिया दोनों टर्म्स, नीचे मैंने हाईलाइट किए हैं. कैन यू सी दिस? होमोस्पोरस एंड हेटेरोस्पोरस. होमोस्पोरस मींस द स्पोर्स व्हिच आर ऑफ सेम टाइप. हेटेरो मींस व्हिच आर ऑफ डिफरेंट टाइप. यहाँ पे ही नहीं, कहीं पे भी आगे अगर आप होमो वर्ड देखेंगे तो इट इज शोइंग अ सिमिलर टाइप ऑफ फीचर. जहाँ पे आप हेटेरो वर्ड देखेंगे, इट इज शोइंग अ डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ फीचर्स और मॉर्फोलॉजी. व्हाट इज डिफरेंट मॉर्फोलॉजी?
मतलब the outer appearance, it is different.
Only outer appearance, inner also. फीचर्स कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स उसके अलग अंदर से जो हो उसे कहते हैं मॉर्फोलॉजी. ओके, यहाँ पे साइजेस दिखाई गई है. ओके, यहाँ पे जैसे हमने लीव्स में देखा ना, माइक्रोफिल्स एंड मैक्रोफिल्स, वो लीव्स की साइज थी. यहाँ पे स्पोर्स की साइज है, माइक्रोस्पोर्स एंड मैक्रोस्पोर्स. तो यहाँ पे चेंज कैसे होता है, वैरी कैसे होते हैं, और उसका नाम हेटेरोस्पोर्स कैसे दिया गया है? डिपेंडिंग ऑन इट्स साइज. कोई स्मॉल है, कोई बड़े है. ओके.
Yes ma'am.
Yes ma'am.
So female gametophytes in the plants are retained on the parent sporophytes for variable periods. उसका मीनिंग क्या है? They are retained on parent sporophytes. Parent retained मतलब कि क्या? They are present there, they are staying there on the parent sporophytes for variable periods. For variable periods मतलब कि थोड़े टाइम के for a particular period of time, उसे कहते हैं variable. ओके, वेरिएबल मतलब कि कोई जगह ज्यादा देर तक रहेंगे, कोई जगह थोड़ी देर तक रहेंगे. दैट इज कॉल्ड वेरिएबल. अलग अलग टाइम, अलग अलग पीरियड के लिए रहेंगे. दैट इज कॉल्ड वेरिएबल पीरियड ऑफ टाइम. ओके. पेरेंट स्पोरोफाइट्स मतलब कि जिसमें से ये स्टेज बनता है, स्पोर्स आर प्रोड्यूस्ड, तो इसीलिए इसे कहते हैं पेरेंट स्पोरोफाइट्स. मैंने पहले भी कहा कि पेरेंट नेम इज गिवन मींस वेयर दिस थिंग्स आर इवोल्यूएटिंग सॉरी, जहाँ पे ये चीज बन रही है इसलिए इसे पेरेंट कहेंगे. और जहाँ पे सब फाइनल बन जाए, न्यू स्पीशीज या न्यू सेल्स या कोई भी चीज बन जाए, उसे कहेंगे डॉटर. डॉटर मॉलिक्यूल अगर आपने सुना हो, डॉटर सेल्स आपने अगर सुना हो,
Yes, ma'am. Wo.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So development of
Hmm.
zygotes into the young embryos takes place. कहाँ पे होगा ये embryo? कहाँ पे बनेगा? Female gametophytes में. Zygote में से ये embryo कहाँ पे बनेगा? Of course female gametophyte में ही बनेगा, क्योंकि वहाँ spores कहाँ से आए? आए मेल gametophytes में से, और आए कहाँ पे? फीमेल gametophyte. Of course वहाँ पे ही बनेगा. ओके, ये सब हमें पता है, लेकिन हमें लिखना है. This event is a precursor to the seed habit, considered as an important step in evolution. Precursor मतलब कि anyone can say. If no one, then I'll explain. What is precursor? What is precursor? Can anyone tell?
Ma'am, precursor means something that occurs before the certain event.
Yes, that is good. Means that is good answer. प्रीकर्सर, प्री मतलब कि कहीं पे भी हम प्री लिखेंगे या पोस्ट लिखेंगे. प्री मतलब कि जो पहले होता है, पोस्ट मतलब
पहले होता है.
बाद में होता है. सो प्रीकर्सर मीन्स कि ये चीज पहले होती है बिफोर द स्टार्टिंग, एट द स्टार्टिंग ऑफ द इवोल्यूशन. मतलब कि इवोल्यूशन प्लांट का जब स्टार्ट होता है तब ये पहले चीज होती है. उसके बाद प्लांट इवोल्यूट करता है. इवोल्यूट मतलब कि वो बनता है. ओके. Now with this the reproduction things are clear, procedure is clear. Everything up till now in all the plants which we were discussing about the reproduction or same things are given here, but extra things are added which you have to remember. But this extra things are cleared or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Astha,
Ma'am, it is not cleared everything, but there are some points which I didn't
what is not
understand.
clear? Ask.
ये last वाला, last third वाला ma'am.
You write in chat box. I'm not able to listen what you're saying. And I say again and again, students, you ask at that time only. When I'm asking that time only, you're saying I'm not clear. जब आपको clear ना हो तभी पूछ लेना है. अगर मैंने नहीं पूछा होता तो आप तो ऐसे ही पेंडिंग रखते ना स्टूडेंट्स. आस्था, डोंट कीप इट पेंडिंग. उस दिन विमल सर ने भी आपको बोला था. Third point, actually there are so many slides. In this slide you have third point not clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Astha,
यही
okay.
वाला.
See, this event is precursor to seed habit, considered as an important step in evolution. पहले तो आप मुझे ये बताइए, what is evolution? Astha, what is evolution?
Ma'am, I forgot.
Evolution मतलब कि पहले कोई भी चीज बनती है. Suppose इस दुनिया में पहले माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिजम्स आए, फिर बाद में प्रोग्रेस हुआ, डेवलपमेंट हुआ, तो फिर उसमें से प्लांट्स बने, एनिमल्स बने, ह्यूमन बींग्स बने. तो ये पूरी प्रोसीजर, सॉरी, ये पूरे टाइम को क्या कहते हैं? इवोल्यूशन.
Evolution.
ओके. ये जो पूरी
Okay, ma'am.
ये वन आफ्टर द अदर स्टेज जो हैपन होते हैं इन दिस ऑन दिस अर्थ, दैट इज नोन एज एवोल्यूशन. तो यहाँ पे क्या लिखा है कि दिस इवेंट इज अ प्रीकर्सर. प्रीकर्सर मतलब कि सपोज हमें
पहले हो
ये
गया.
सब, हाँ कोई बात नहीं, तो भी मैं एक्सप्लेन कर देती हूँ. सपोज सीड बननी है, तो सीड बनने के पहले डायरेक्ट तो सीड नहीं बनेगी. तो उससे पहले क्या बनेगा? पहले स्पोर्स आएंगे फीमेल गैमेटोफाइट्स में, फिर वो बनाएगा जाइगोट आफ्टर द मेल एंड फीमेल गैमेट्स यूनाइट्स. तो ये क्या है? सीड बनने से पहले ये सब चीजें होती है. ओके. और फिर ये इवोल्यूशन स्टार्ट करता है. ओके, सो दिस इज नोन एज प्रीकर्सर. अंडरस्टूड? थर्ड पॉइंट क्लियर?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
एग्जाम्पल्स इसके दिए हैं टेरिडोफाइट्स के 4 क्लासेस. सिलोप्सीडा, लाइकोप्सीडा, स्फेनोप्सीडा एंड टेरोप्सीडा. ओके.
सब कुछ सीधा है मैम.
Yes, only the things you have to remember is silo, lyco, spheno and tero. Okay. ये क्लासिफिकेशन है, उसके अंदर उसके एग्जांपल्स दिए हैं. सपोज इट इज Silopsida, the example is Siloptum, Lycopsida, Silangilena and Lycopodium. Sphenopsida, उसका एग्जांपल है Equisetum, Pteropsida, Trypopteris, Pteris and Adeniantum. ये नेम्स याद रखने हैं, उसमें तो मैं कुछ भी
Please
नहीं
don't
करती.
expect anything. Please, ma'am, these are horribly.
That's why I'm
We are
saying to remember. I cannot do anything in
I
this.
want to cry.
अभी इंटरेस्टिंग वीडियो भी था जो हमने इसके बारे में पढ़ा ना, सभी चीजें थी इस वीडियो में, बट वी डोंट हैव टाइम. 9:10 we have to end up and it is 9:06. ये वीडियो है, it is around 5 minutes 18 seconds.
मैम कोई बात नहीं, कर दो ना जितना होता है उतना, फिर नेक्स्ट लेक्चर से जिम्नास्टिक्स करेंगे.
Then your next lecture will not start, or you don't want the break.
मतलब कोई बात नहीं मैम, 5 ही मिनट है, 5 मिनट का वीडियो है,
Okay, then I'll
हो
start.
जाएगा.
Okay. Okay.
You have probably seen ferns growing in gardens or in someone's backyard.
What happened to this now?
Ferns are a type of pteridophyte. Pteridophytes are plants that flourish in a damp, cool and shady habitat, although some species also grow in sandy soil conditions. They occupy a
स्टूडेंट्स मुझे याद है, आई गेस 40 लेक्चर के बाद जूम पूरा हो जाएगा. सो अगर डिस्कनेक्ट हो जाए तो डोंट थिंक दैट आई एम डिस्कनेक्टिंग. अपने आप हो जाएगा.
Yes, ma'am.
special place in plant evolution, as they were the first terrestrial plants to possess vascular tissues and true root, stem and leaves. The leaves of a pteridophyte are large as in ferns or small as in the case of Selaginella. Pteridophytes are widely used as ornamental plants, soil binders, and for medicinal purposes. Based on the organization of the plant body, including the nature of the leaf and location of sporangia, they are classified as Coelopsida, Lycopsida, Sphenopsida, and Pteropsida. The life cycle of a pteridophyte begins when the plant body, a sporophyte, bears sporangia, which are subtended by leaf-like appendages called sporophylls. However, in some genera like Equisetum, sporophylls might form distinct and compact structures called strobili or cones. The sporangia produce spores in spore mother cells by meiosis, which germinate into gametophytes called prothallus, a small, multicellular, free-living and mainly photosynthetic gametophyte which grows only in cool, damp and shady places. The prothallus also bears the male and female sex organs, the antheridium and archegonium. The antheridium produces the male gametes called antherozoids, whereas the archegonium produces an egg. When released, antherozoids travel through water and eventually reach the mouth of the archegonium, where each one fuses with an egg to form a zygote. This zygote develops into a young embryo, which further develops into a multicellular and well-differentiated young sporophyte, and ultimately into a mature sporophyte. This completes the life cycle of a pteridophyte, which is divided into the gametophytic phase and the sporophytic phase, the most dominant phase. Pteridophytes can be homosporous or heterosporous. Homosporous pteridophytes produce spores of similar kind, while heterosporous pteridophytes produce two different types of spores, large or megaspores and small or microspores. Megaspores germinate into female gametophytes, which produce eggs, while microspores germinate into male gametophytes, which produce antherozoids. The egg and antherozoid fuse to form a zygote, which develops into a young embryo, which then gives rise to a sporophyte. These pteridophytes occupy an important place in the plant kingdom, as they were the first plants to have true roots, stems and leaves, as well as vascular tissues.
Fine, Yashvi. Asta comes late.
Yes,
She
ma'am.
lives also early. Fine, anyways. Thank you for cooperating. Bye-bye. We'll meet the afternoon.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Have a nice day.
Same to you. Bye.